Hi, this is Jamey with Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Stefan Feld's game Carpe Diem, which I don't own, but I played at a Geekway Mini a few months ago, and here's a photo of the game that we played. It is a tile placement game with a public drafting element and an interesting goal system that I won't go into because it's pretty punishing, but I like the spirit behind it. The thing that I really liked about the game is the drafting section. You can see it pretty clearly on this photo here. Every round you populate these, 7 sections with 4 random tiles. And then you have these little workers that jump around these tiles. And this is the really cool aspect of it. So if my worker's here, I usually play red, and I want to select a tile, the 2 groups that are available to me are connected by very faint lines. You can't really see them in this photo, but they're the 2 lines that are diagonal from my guy. So I think it's this one and that one. So they're 2 diagonals here. So on my turn, I can take my little guy and I can move it to one of these spots and claim one of those tiles. And it's so simple. Like it's almost so simple that that I almost overlooked it while I was playing it. But I found that I just really enjoyed how my choices were limited to something rather than being able to choose all these tiles. But it also gave me the ability to narrow that focus, which I needed. Like I didn't want to be able to choose from all these tiles. I like to have a specific focus, and it gave me the satisfaction of planning ahead a little bit, because I might say, okay, in 2 turns, I want one of these tiles. And so if I want to do that, then I need to make sure I choose, I don't know if this is right, but maybe that stack up there. So it gives you a little bit of planning ahead as you choose these actions. And also overall, just in general, as an action selection mechanism, I think this is a really clever system because it's so aesthetically pleasing and easy to grok in one quick glance as to what your options are. So I think this system, a system like this, in opposition to some games where they have like tiles that are all over the place and you're constantly refilling them, or they're just systems that don't work as cleanly and elegantly as this. But I think this is a great system either for a public drafting like they did here, or just for actions. Like this could easily be a worker placement game in itself, where each of these are different actions. Maybe they change a little bit from round to round, and your choices are the ones that are always those that are directly opposite your little meeple on here. I think it could make a great worker placement game, essentially, or worker movement game. That's Carpe Diem. I'd also suggest looking into the goal system. It's an interesting goal system, but Stefan Feld did something that I don't do in my designs, was he made it very, very punishing. Whereas I think sometimes designers forget that it's punishing enough to get 0 points from something when you could be getting points from it, much less having to be punished by losing points for taking that thing. So I'm not going to go into that in detail here, but I do think the game is worth checking out. Stefan Feld is still a very, very talented designer. I think he's doing great work, and this system itself is so elegant that it's definitely worth checking out and learning from. If you have a different mechanism in Carpe Diem, or you want to counter any of these points and say that you like something that I didn't like, or vice versa, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Or if you can think of another game with that reminds you a little bit of this in terms of either the public drafting system or the action selection system, I'd love to hear about that in the comments as well. All right, thanks.